So it's setting us up, and I'm getting better at this, I think. All right, we are live. Good morning, Corona Daze Professional Development Group. I am Danette Edwards. I'm the founder of Corona Daze Professional Development Group, known as CDPD. And today I am here with Kim Fulks, and she's going to talk to us. Did I say that wrong, Kim?
No, that's fine.
She's going to talk to us today about an introduction to a residual income business model. And I'm just going to turn it right over to her so that she can tell us a little about herself before she begins. And thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Danette. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for your time today, whether you're listening to this live or listening to the recording. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'm going to share with you some valuable information today just about having a plan B for your income stream, especially during these somewhat challenging times. I have been involved in network marketing for, it'll be 10 years in October, 2 years with my company I'm currently with. Prior to that, and also sometimes during the past 10 years, I was in the corporate marketing world for a few decades, couple decades, not quite 3 decades, but a few decades. And you really had a great career, enjoyed what I was doing, but I was spending a lot of time at my job. And the stressors, as you all know, in today's world were only increasing. And I just knew that for the remainder of my working years, I probably wasn't going to be able to keep up the pace, the hours, nor did I want to, because I was definitely trading away a lot of time and working for other folks' dreams and not necessarily my own dreams. So I was presented with an opportunity in network marketing, and it was totally new to me, as it is for most of us. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today, is just go through a little bit about what it is and what I've learned, and through some resources that I have for the industry, things to think about, because a lot of us are not ever told about residual income and a plan B income stream where you're not trading time for money, which is how we're all taught. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to go through a little bit about the industry. I'm going to go through a little bit about what to look for in a company, because there are a lot of them out there. I am going to go through what qualities you really need to embody or learn, because I will say, if there's one thing that's paramount, is network marketing is an absolutely huge personal development opportunity. I was, like I said, in the corporate world for a couple decades, and never did I learn as much working there as I've learned in the past 10 years working in network marketing, about myself, about people, and about the business world. So it is a huge personal development plan, as well as an opportunity to earn money. And what you learn in network marketing really helps you in every place in your life. And so that's been a reward I had not anticipated. So I'm going to share my screen. A lot of this is on the screen only because I think it's good for people to see things as I'm talking. And of course, I'll come back at the end. And if there are any questions, I'm not sure how Danette usually works that, but more than open to questions. And hopefully I'll give you all some information that will at least get your mind thinking about some alternatives, because while there are definitely a lot of jobs out there right now, plan Bs, I think, are probably a good thing to have ongoing regardless, because I think we all know how tenuous things can be as you know, things like this happen, which nobody expected. So give me a second here to share my screen. Okay, hopefully everybody can see this screen. And I'm not taking you back to economics class, so don't worry about that. But there is a business model that none of us are taught about. And this is a business model, hopefully you can see this book, The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. And in this book, this is the cash flow quadrant. He's also the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You might have heard of that book. Very smart gentleman. And in this book, one of the keystones is called the cash flow quadrant. Now, every single one of us grows up and is taught about the left side of the quadrant. We are taught this left side. We're an employee or we're self-employed. So as an employee, we're taught to go to school and to learn a craft, to go to college potentially and get a degree, and then go to work, and you're trading, you're getting a salary or you're getting an hourly wage, and you're basically trading time for money. And that's what we all do. That's what we're all taught. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. The other alternative, some people, they're self-employed. Basically, when you're self-employed, you own a job. And again, you're trading your time for money. Meaning if you don't show up for your job, you don't get paid. And even when we work for a company, we may have a week's vacation to start, 2 weeks vacation after a few years. And if we're really, really lucky, you build yourself up to 3 weeks. So I don't know about you, but 3 weeks of vacation can go really, really fast, especially as your family grows and you want to do things with people. Now, 95% of us over here, 95% of us live, work, and operate on the left side of the quadrant. However, globally, we only represent 5% of the wealth. And that means there's another side of the quadrant that other people are working in and investing in that we haven't had the opportunity or the visibility or knowledge to transition to. And that is the right side of the quadrant. So on the left side, it's linear income, trading time for money. The right side of the quadrant is residual income. Basically, you're getting paid for things you do once or a couple times, and you're getting paid for those things ongoing. So on the upper right side of the quadrant, this is a business owner of a big business. Think Nike, think the founders of Google, think Costco, think Amazon, big companies. The founders of the companies don't show up to work every day, yet those companies are generating millions and billions of dollars every single year. Now, there's a lot of risk in that because I don't know if you've ever heard this stat, but Amazon, who's, as we all know, huge now, they took 12 years to earn a profit. So that means the people that started Amazon were willing or had the capacity financially to lose money for 12 years before they started to earn. And then that compounded and they're earning a heck of a lot now, but there were 12 years of earning nothing. I don't know about you, but I can't go 12 years earning nothing and losing money. It's not just earning nothing, but losing money. So the top of this quadrant are business owners. So you own a system and you have a bunch of people that work for you, but you've invested money and you've taken some risk because not all businesses make it, as we know. The bottom right of the quadrant are investors. And it could be commercial real estate. It could be business investors who invest in new businesses. It's also artists and like musicians, because if they have a hit song, every time that song is played, they get a residual income. Taylor Swift was asked if she could go back and choose whatever piece of music to originate, to create, what would that be? And she said the soundtrack from Friends. Because Friends, you hear that background music, that soundtrack all the time. Somebody's getting paid for that every single time that song is played. So that's residual income. Folks have invested their time recording the song, their money investing in the business. And if it's a hit, it continues to pay and pay for years to come. Now, on the right side, there's a lot of risk because as we know, probably 5 to 10% of businesses make it, and it takes some time for them to make it. And songs and movies, because actors, it's the same thing. They get paid again and again as the reruns are shown from TV shows, but not everything's a hit. Not everything even makes it a season. So there's a lot of risk there. So you either have to have a really good stomach for risk, which I don't, or you have to have a lot of money that you're willing to put at risk for the great rewards that you get on this right side of the quadrant. So 5% of the people really operate on the right side of the quadrant, but 95% of the wealth is found on the right side. But most of us don't have the opportunity to transition there. And what network marketing does is it gives people, it's the equalizer. It gives everyday people like me the opportunity to move from the left side to the right side. Doesn't mean I necessarily have to leave my job, because I certainly did not when I started. But it gives me the opportunity to do something on the side that for me personally can start to build some residual money, some income where I'm working, but what I'm doing is building something that might just potentially grow to something bigger. So it is the equalizer, and it's what we're not taught. I went to business school. I went to grad school. I have an MBA. Nobody ever taught me this. I was just taught how to think the corporate way. And that was great. That made me a lot of money, but I didn't have any time to enjoy it. So that's just the trade-offs. And those are the things that we're just not taught. That this book, The Business of the 21st Century, I get no residuals from this, but it's on Amazon, it's on everything. It's just a really good read, and just starts to acquaint you with a different way of thinking and a different way of operating. So let's look at how big is network marketing and direct sales, because your next question is going to be, okay, so how big is this? This was a study done in 2018. I would imagine the 2019 numbers would have been done sometime first quarter 2020. And as we all know, things got a little crazy first quarter 2020. So don't know what the 2019 numbers now, but I will guess that right now these numbers are bigger because a lot of people are at home and looking for a plan B. But in 2018, in the United States, 16.5 million people were involved in network marketing. And the US retail sales were $35.4 billion. Now, to put that in perspective for you, the NFL in 2018 did $15 billion. Now, most of us would think the NFL is pretty big business, right? Well, network marketing and direct sales are more than twice what the NFL did in revenues for 2018. And globally, there's about 103 million folks doing network marketing and direct sales, and it's about $183 billion 2 years ago. Again, I believe it's much larger now, just because everything has changed since 2018. So it is a business, and these numbers are from the Direct Selling Association, which is an association that all the accredited network marketing and direct sales folks are with and under. So this is a study that they did, and they do them every year. So this is a super busy slide, and I'm really sorry about that, but there's a little bit of good information on here from different areas that I wanted to point out. This was again done by the Direct Selling Association and Ipsos, another direct selling organization, on the consumer attitudes and an entrepreneur study that they did early in 2020. And again, I think the numbers now have gone up from what they have shown here, because a lot more people are looking for that plan B. So 77% of Americans are interested in some sort of flexible way to earn money, an entrepreneurial lifestyle. And young people, 91% of Gen X or Gen Zers and 88% of millennials are looking for something that gives them more time flexibility, more location flexibility, and just a way to make money that doesn't require them to report into an office every day. And also the startup cost, it just compares the startup costs here for on average for network marketing or direct sales, and how they compare to other more linear jobs. Because as a realtor, you still have to show up. You still have to show up to show your client a house, or to show a house to a potential buyer. If you're an Uber driver, you still have to show up to drive that car. So again, you still are trading time for money, but these are second jobs that a lot of people take to earn that second monetary stream of money. But again, you're trading time for money. And what happens if you get sick? What happens if you break a leg and you can't drive your car? These are the types of things that, now I'm much more attuned to, of just the advantages of having a residual income where I don't have to leave my house for a very long time if I don't want to, and I can still build my income. Also, some people, they are landlords, and that's residual income. Every month you're collecting checks from your residents, but you're having to invest in that facility, that apartment building, that whatever it is, that home you're renting out. And franchises, it's great to own a business. That always, I think, has been a lot of people's American dream. But owning a restaurant, well, first of all, take out the pandemic, but owning a restaurant anytime, and you want to talk about working a lot of hours and holidays and having to staff up and just handle a lot of headaches and a lot of hours. And now what's happened, there's a lot of people that own franchises that haven't been able to open their doors or have opened them on a limited way the last month or two, and now might be facing having to close them down again. So again, there's a lot of risk in that. And probably another really good number over here are just the diverse appeal across the US. 48% of people involved are women. I actually think that's higher, but that's what the study says. But when I go to meetings and I attend events, it seems like there's a lot more women there than men, but maybe it's just because the men are off working and we want to be a little more social. I'm not sure. 35% are millennials, 20% are African American. And what that says to me is there's a lot of untapped potential in the African American networks, because there's a lot of people that have not been exposed to network marketing. For the same reason a lot of us were never exposed to network marketing, because it's just not what your parents, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, it's not what your friends are talking about. So again, sorry for the busy slide, but there really was a lot on here, and I just decided to not take it out after I put it in. Okay, now I want to get the elephant out of the room on a couple, and I probably missed a couple, falsities, for lack of a better word, that's my own word, about network marketing, direct sales. Just to kind of talk through some things that when you talk to people about this, you're going to hear. I don't hear it much anymore, probably because I just kind of have gotten a posture where people are like, I'm not going to ask her about that. She probably has an answer, but you will hear it. First of all, people are going to say, you have to be one of the first ones in to make money. And right along with that, this is ground floor. You have to get in now. Well, like any new business, if you're in on the ground floor, you're still at a lot of risk if you're one of the first ones in or in on the ground floor, because 5 to 10% are successful. The others are not. And also you're going through all the glitches, all the startup issues, because it's a business, and just like anything else, there are going to be startup glitches. So it is really not true. You do not have to be in on the ground floor. And as a matter of fact, if you are, you're going to spend probably at least a year, if not 2 or 3, going through a lot of startup aches and pains with that company that you're with. Not to say you shouldn't sign on if it's a ground floor opportunity, but just beware of the risks involved. I've known people that left really successful network marketing companies because they got lured into new ones with special perks. And at least 1 or 2 of my friends have gotten the email at 10 o'clock at night, we've shut our doors, and that's it, you're done. So it's just something you really do want to be careful of with anybody that's new, because like any business, new business, there's risk involved. The next one you'll hear people just throw out there, and it is absolutely false. This is easy, you don't have to do anything at all. It's simple. Nothing that I do is hard. Nothing that I do is mind-boggling. Nothing that I do requires me to like sit there for hours and figure it out. But it's not easy. You have to work. There is work involved. There are some stressors involved. There are people you have to deal with that maybe aren't, happy with you at the moment. There are sometimes some shipping issues. I mean, there are real business issues, and you have to actually get out and connect with people. You have to do something. So it's, it does take time and it takes commitment. And so it's not hard to do, but it's not, you have to do something. You actually have to do a lot of things, and you really have to love what you do. So don't believe that you don't have to do anything, because you do have to do a lot, but hopefully you've picked a company that you're having some fun with and a team that you're having fun with. This is one that's become really, the last couple of years because of social media. You can build 100% online. You never have to talk to anybody. That's not true either. You do have to talk to people. You're building a business. You have customers. You have a team. You can do a lot online. Social media and technology has made this business, Zoom, a lot easier to do. But you still have to talk to people. And it might right now be on a Zoom, but you do have to talk to people. And you want to talk to people because you've got a team and you've got customers and you want a relationship with them. A lot of network marketing is really relationship marketing. So you do have to talk to people. You can't just hide behind your computer. Yes, you can get a lot done on your computer, but you have to talk to people as well. This one, I've probably done this too without thinking, and you'll hear this a lot. Our comp plan is the best. You know, there are a lot of comp plans out there in the network marketing world. There are some good ones, there are some bad ones, and there's everything in between. So you got to take this comment with a grain of salt. Somebody's just really excited about their comp plan, and it might be very, very good. But there's no way to know everything about every comp plan out there, so you don't really know if yours is the best. I like to say mine's very generous and it's lucrative, but I can't say it's the best because I don't know everything else out there. I can say it's better than where I came from, because this is my second company. But there were still things about the comp plan that I came from that were good. So just take that comment from somebody with a grain of salt. And I'm going to go through a couple red flags for you on comp plans in a slide or two, just things to be wary of, that if these things are present, then I can tell you for sure it's not the best comp plan out there. Nobody makes money at these things. You're going to hear that. I will go back to my second slide. If there's 35 point something billion in revenues in 2018 in network marketing and direct sales in the United States, if those companies involved are making that kind of money, the people that are bringing them those sales are not doing it because they're not getting paid. There is money in network marketing. There's actually a lot of money in network marketing, but the thing about it is there's no guarantee, there's no trade-off that the time you put in is going to lead to that money. That's the big key. There's no guarantee you're going to get a set amount of money, and you have to do something. I always tell somebody that, and this will come up again in another slide, anything times zero is going to be zero. If you do nothing, you're going to earn nothing. And there's a lot of people that have signed up for network marketing in the past and they do nothing. And then they wonder why they made nothing. So that's something that you really need to be conscious of, is that you have to be in activity. But there is money to be made. And there's actually a lot of money to be made, but it can take some time. And a lot of people just don't give it the time that it needs. And then there's also just everything in between nothing and a lot of money that can really set you free and ease your mind financially. And for a lot of people, an extra $500 to $1,000 a month would really ease a lot of people's strain. And then it's the classic, it's a pyramid scheme. Now, if it's a pyramid scheme, it's going to be shut down by the FTC. Not that there haven't been pyramid schemes, not that somebody might not try it in the future, but network marketing companies that have been in existence and that are operating today are being scrutinized very closely by the FTC. And if anything is illegal, then they will be shut down. And they have been shut down and will continue to be shut down. So a pyramid scheme, I always ask, what do you mean by that? Because most people don't even know what, they're just throwing that out there because that's what they've heard. But one of the first things I always say was, think about where you work. I'm sure if you saw your organization chart, it kind of looks like this, because there's people at the top and then there's all these levels below. That's kind of a triangle to me. But, this is the thing that gets kind of thrown on network marketing when people aren't quite sure what to say, but they want to say something not positive. So they'll throw that out at you. So there may be more falsities out there, but these are just the ones that, as I was thinking about, okay, what have I heard? That I just kind of want to get the elephant out of the room, and also just a few things to watch out for. All right. Okay, so what to look for in a network marketing company? Because there's a lot of opportunities out there. And you kind of want to, as you would make any big decision to take a job, hopefully you look at the company and you look at the people, and you want to do the same thing about any opportunity. So what to look for with network marketing? Does the product or service suit you? You are going to be representing a product. You really need to be a product of the product. You have to be comfortable that you're going to use it so that you can genuinely talk about it. Because your reputation is going to be tied to what you're representing. So you want to make sure that the products not only suit you, but are also good, that they're high quality, and that you can say that and genuinely mean it because you know it. You also want to look at the founders, the owners, the leadership team. Do they have any network marketing experience? If so, what kind of experience and how much experience? What's their background? Is the leadership team diverse? If the company was founded by people that are now in their 70s, do they have a leadership team that is diverse age-wise? Do they have a leadership team that's diverse from a cultural standpoint? Because network marketing is very broad, and you want to make sure that your leaders are going to be taking you into the future with a company that has a solid marketing and branding and all the strategies that you would do if you worked for a corporation. You want to look at the compensation plan, but you want to remember there's no number one plan, because I guarantee you're going to be told that this is the best ever. It's the only one out there that does this. And here are just some red flags. And this may mean nothing to you now, but maybe if you hear it, you'll think, oh, she told me about that. And that's kind of a red flag. I need to ask more about that. If anybody says that their volume flushes at month end, or you have talked to people in that the last week of the month, man, they are out there trying to get sales, and they're texting all their friends, and they're on social media, sign up with me now. That's probably because at the end of every month, whatever work they've done that according to their comp plan, they haven't been paid out yet for at month end, they have to hit a certain level before it pays out. It flushes at the end of the month, and you start off at 0 on the first of each month. Believe me, that's not the best plan out there, because you don't want your hard work to not get paid out on. And there are so many companies out there that do not flush volume at the end of the month. Also, if anybody talks to you about, well, you only get paid to level 7, or you only get paid to level 10, and then this level breaks away, but then you want unlimited payouts, depth and breadth wise, because there are plenty of companies out there that will pay you for every single person in your organization, no matter if it's 1,000 levels deep. And here's something that I never knew about until network marketing, because you certainly don't get this in any normal company job, a linear job where you're paid for your time that you put in. Make sure there's legacy compensation, that your asset, that your earnings are willable. Because when you're not trading your personal time for money, when you've got a team that you're all working together to help get everybody paid, your team is not going to die when you die. And you're still going to be earning an income for potentially many, many years after you're gone. Now try that with your current employer at a regular job. After I die, I work so hard, so maybe for the next 2 years, you could pay my wife, or you could pay my daughter or my son. I don't think they're going to buy that. But in network marketing, a good company, they have a legacy plan where you can will your current earnings or your future earnings after you pass away. Anything you continue to earn can be willed to whoever you designate. That was eye-opening for me, but that really drives home the point that you're really not working then, but the money and what you've done in the past and the customers you have and the team you've built, they're still working. And it's your team, and you've willed it to whoever you want to get it. And that feels pretty good. And then just some other things to think about. The timing and the marketability of the product and product line. Make sure that it's either on a trend and not a fad trend, but something that is a growth market, that you've looked at the market and the market size is big enough. And the trend is not something that's about to be replaced by new technology. And is the market size big enough? You can have a great product out there, but if only a small subset of the market wants it, that's going to be a hard business to build. And this last one, is it consumable? First of all, do people already buy it and use it so they could switch over to your product? And is it something that people are going to repeat purchase and not buy maybe once every 5 or 10 years? Because you want a product that people are going to consume and readily consume, that they have to reorder. And hopefully they'll be reordering through you. And then some of the other things to look at, the marketing systems and the tools and the technology, all those things should be top notch. The company should be doing all the heavy lifting for you. They should be providing you with your own website. They should have all your marketing pieces in place to share with others. Their technology should be, right up there with the best. So just look at what you're going to be receiving to support you as you build your business, because you don't want to invest your own money in that, and you shouldn't have to. Then look at your sponsor. Make sure you want to do business with him or her, because you're going to be working with him or her a lot, and you're going to be working together to earn each other money. So where there's money, there's always going to be friction, whether you like them or not. Not always going to be friction, but there's always that potential for friction. So make sure that you really like your sponsor and you like your immediate team, because you can sign up with whoever you want to. Now, don't ruin a friendship over it. That can get testy too. But just make sure you have some hard conversations with the person before you sign up, because if you're gung-ho and you're building a business, they might decide, I'm just going to go lay on a beach because Kim's making me a lot of money. Think how that might sit with you. And is that the type of person they are? I like, usually you work with people that are a lot like you. So if you're a go-getter, that person who you're thinking about signing up with is going to be the same way, and you're all going to be on the same mindset, but just something to make sure of. And then company culture. Some companies, they're pretty hard driving. They want you to do things you may not be comfortable with. You might be comfortable with them. If you are, great, but just kind of get a feel. I know I had a friend that went to a company convention after she had signed up with them, and she sat there and realized, this isn't a group of people that I really want to be with. They don't believe in the same things that I believe in to my core. And that's a hard time to find that out after you've already spent 6 months learning the company and then the money to go to their convention. So there are little ways to figure that out and to think about that, and to kind of get a glimpse inside and just see what type of people they are. Are there people you would choose to hang out with? Are they people that you would enjoy spending time with? Are they kind of like-minded in the things they believe in, the values they have? And as a business person, are they aligned with how you like to do business? Because some people are very hardcore, very in your face, and that's fine. There's a time for that, but is that how you're going to be expected to be all the time, and are you comfortable with that? And then finally, just use your gut. Because at the end of the day, something may look really good and hit on every single one of your pros list, but it just doesn't feel right. Use your gut. It really hasn't ever failed me, and I don't know about you, but plenty of times I've wished I had gone with my gut and just not been so analytical and just looked at the pros and cons. So again, as a final litmus test, use your gut. Does it feel right? So just a couple things to think about here, just like you would any other big decision. All right. So this is a definition of network marketing that I've heard from a couple different sources that I really like. But the things highlighted, you're going to be like, what does this really say? Kim, this says nothing, which is kind of what I thought the first time. But I want to break it down. What is network marketing? Which is different than direct sales, and it's different than the traditional multi-level marketing. Network marketing, which is what I do, is we're charged with the responsibility of building a network. If it's highlighted, I'm going to go into it a little further, of people who consume a reoccurring product while leveraging teamwork and the power of exponential growth. Let me break down those key areas. We're building a network of people that are going to consume the products of the company that we've signed on with, because that company, they're paying us to do that, okay? I was in the marketing world in my corporate jobs for 2+ decades. And so what network marketing companies are not doing is they're not paying people like me to set up their TV advertising, to get celebrity endorsements. You're not going to see any Final Four sponsorships by a network marketing company. You're not going to see a stadium with that network marketing company's name on it. You're not going to see any magazine ads or sponsored ads by that company on social media. They don't spend marketing on that. They put all of their marketing and advertising spend into people like me and everybody like me that has chosen to represent their products and share their products with their network. It's word of mouth marketing. So that's what you're building, your network of people, and then you're sharing that. And some people are going to decide to do the same thing. They're going to be like, well, I kind of like this product, and now I'm going to share it with my network. And everybody that you know, everybody in your phone, you have, they're part of your network. And then there may be some overlap of say I have a friend, Joan, and she's in my phone. Well, I may overlap a little bit my network with hers, but then she's got a whole, probably 80% of her network are people I've never met. And that's how your team grows. That's what, when we get to the exponential, That's how the teams in network marketing grow. There are people on my team now, I have no idea who they are. We're all working together, but that name on the chart means nothing to me because they're in the network of somebody probably 3 levels removed from me, but they're in their network. So next we're going to go to reoccurring product. What are reoccurring purchases? So you want to make sure you're aligned with a company, again, that has reoccurring purchases. So things like cleaning supplies. These are just examples. Transportation, food and supplements, makeup, skincare, electricity, cable, your phone bill, internet, nails, eyelashes, daycare. You know, you have reoccurring bills and expenses for most, if not all of these things, which means realistically, there's also a reoccurring income opportunity for these things as well. So you want to have items, you want to have your product line of the company you join, have a breadth of products that people are repurchasing on a regular basis. That's what makes your residual income consistent. And that's what makes your residual income, you know, people are repurchasing. Teamwork. And this is just a snapshot from a book because I just thought it was cute. So work with me on this one. But, you know, say basically, you know, I don't want to work 20 hours a week. Just an example, I work a lot more than 20 hours a week, but I have fun with it. But just say I want to work 4 hours a week, but I'd love to get paid on 20 hours of work. Well, with network marketing, if I share with 4 of my good friends and I say, would each of you guys work 4 hours a week with me? All of a sudden, because of how the business model works, I'm getting paid, and most of us are getting paid on 20 hours of work. It's my 4 hours plus my friends, each of their 4 hours. So that's the teamwork, is you are getting paid not just on the time and effort you put in, but everybody you're bringing in to this company and everybody that they are bringing in, and so on and so on. So that's how you're not trading time for money anymore. I wake up in the morning and a lot of times I see things in my back office I didn't do, I was sleeping. But I have somebody on the West Coast or I have somebody in the UK who wasn't sleeping. They were building their business and they're on my team. And so that's how that works. And then finally, exponential growth. And these numbers are never going to turn out exactly like this, but it is a way to show, you know, to show the numbers. And in network marketing, the numbers don't lie. They are what they are. If they're there and they're multiplied by certain things, that's what they are. So again, just using that example of 4 people, and just say this is a monthly $50 purchase that 4 people are making, and just say you earn, the company's paying you to share this product, to sell this product, they're paying you 6%. So you have 4 people buying $50 worth of product and you're earning 6%. You're making a whopping $12 a month. You're not too excited about that, right? But it is your first check and there is something to celebrate about that. But as those people organically multiply and you're talking to more people and people you know on your team are talking to more people, those numbers multiply. And what it can multiply out to, if everybody keeps doing their job, and not everybody's going to talk to 4. Some people are going to talk to nobody. Some people are going to talk to 24. Some people are going to talk to 204. But people do talk about products they like and products that are working for them. It's that whole word of mouth thing. We all tell people about things we like. So this is the exponential growth. You know, you go from, you know, say 256 people on your team over the course of a year, $768, that's what you're taking in a month. 256 times 50 times 6%. That's about $9,200 a year. Not a whole lot of money, but that could pay some bills. And then as that multiplies, once you get down to 1,024, and also you're earning money, you don't just jump from 256 to 1,024. There's people that come in on every increment, every one person in between there. But you start earning $3,000 a month, and then you're over $36,000 a year. That's a pretty nice plan B. So that's the concept of exponential growth. It never works out exactly like that. And this is where I always tell people, anything multiplied by 0 is 0. If you do nothing, you earn nothing. So that's, that's just the leveling playing field for everybody. You have to do something. All right. Now this is kind of the fun one, kind of sit back, take a breath. Who do you have to be in network marketing? Because network marketing, direct sales, multi-level marketing, they're not for everybody. There are some skills. You're not expected to know all these skills out of the gate. You are expected to learn these, and maybe even not all of them, but just get good at some of them. So here's some of the qualities that over time you need to encompass most, if not all of these, and just ratchet it up, get a little bit better. None of us are good at this at the beginning. Some things we're better at than others, but like I said, it's personal development, and any one of these is good in any area of your life. Network marketing, direct sales, multi-level marketing, it will push you there faster. So we have confidence and posture. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. You have to be good with rejection. You have to, and believe me, I wasn't good at the beginning. I was lucky enough to have a very supportive spouse who told me to just have fun with it. Just have fun with this. Just make a game out of it. Don't take it so personally. So you have to be good with rejection. You have to be able to let go of the outcome. You just have to not expect. Sometimes your very best friend is going to be the most negative person about what you're doing. But somebody you never thought was going to care is going to raise their hand. So let go of the outcome. Just do your thing. And be okay with stretching beyond your comfort zone. I will tell you, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would not be doing this. This would have scared me to death. Even after 7 years in network marketing, because I wasn't that good on Zoom. I just came to meetings and listened to meetings. I didn't present at meetings. This has pushed me, and it's a good thing because it helps me in other areas of my life. Now, when I walk into a party, well, if I ever go to a party again, I'm not that person that just kind of just looks around and goes, God, I don't know anybody. I have a little more confidence now. It may come from Zoom, but a little more confidence. Okay, capable. You're going to learn some problem solving skills because you're not in an office where there's going to be a bunch of people to run to for help. So you're going to learn to think on your feet, and that's a good thing. Committed. You need to consistently show up. This is not an overnight dream fulfiller. And one of my mentors said something once that really stuck with me. He said, you can do network marketing part-time. You can do network marketing full-time. You cannot do network marketing sometime. Because when you're starting and stopping and starting and stopping, you just really have no momentum. So you do have to be committed and have some consistency. I don't care if it's 1 hour a day, but don't let a week, 2 weeks go by when you've done nothing, because it's going to then be really hard to get back into it. And the people you've been working with are going to start to write you off. Coachable. Some of us are better at that than others. And, I've had my good coaching moments and I've had my bad coaching moments. And sometimes I'm a good coach and sometimes I know I can step it up too. But you have to be willing to listen, eager to learn, and to initially follow a system in place. If you're with a good company, they have a system. Until you're super, super, super good, don't reinvent the wheel. You don't have to. And you also need to find a leader that resonates with you and follow them. And it's not always your direct upline. Sometimes as you're with your company, you go to a meeting or you pop on a webinar, and you're like, I like that person. I like the way they teach. I have a lot of people that I tune into. They don't know it. I'm just on their Zoom or I'm on their webinar. But I tune into them because I like how they teach. It resonates with me more than some other people. And that's okay. So, and if you have a company, most network marketing companies, again, something to look for if they're a good one, everybody helps everybody out. They don't mind if you're tapping in to their trainings. They're happy to help everybody grow. Good communicator. You got to be okay speaking up. You got to be okay sharing information, asking questions, because again, you're an entrepreneur and not everything's going to be handed to you. And you're not always going to have somebody, in the next office to walk over to ask. And you have to be okay with educating others and helping them and contributing. It truly is a team effort, both up and down in your team. And a good listener. We all have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and truly it is really good in this business to use them proportionately, because you don't know how to help people, whether it's a customer or a team member, unless you find out their needs. find out their concerns, find out what they purchase now, find out what they like about what they purchase, what they don't like about what they purchase. So my listening skills have gotten a lot better. My husband might not always agree with that, but for other people, they've gotten better. You need to have a positive attitude. You need to, make people want to be around you, be a magnet for other positive people, because you want to draw people to you that you might want to work with. And you don't want to work with a bunch of curmudgeons. So I'll just leave it at that. Just, be positive. And then that's the kind of people that you'll attract in your company and in your team. Big in network marketing is collaboration. Be a giver, not just a taker, and be willing to help and share and serve others. It truly does come back to help you, and you will get kind of that black mark if you're not collaborative enough, because people expect that and they're willing to help you. And then finally, it feels so good. It really does when you can turn around and help somebody else, because you've gotten to a point where like, hey, now I can contribute back. Sincere and authentic, you can't sustain fake. People see through it, whether it's people you want to buy your products or your team members. It's not sustainable. So I don't care how good you are, it's not sustainable. So just be sincere and be authentic. If you don't like something, just put it out there. That's part of being a good communicator as well. Got to communicate what you do like as well as what you don't like sometimes. Good at follow-up. Anybody that's been in sales for any length of time knows that, most sales are not made until after the 6th or 7th touch point. You've got to learn follow-up. And, people will come back 2 years later and all of a sudden they're interested, but you need to stay on their radar. And you can just stay on their radar by just touching base to say hi. It doesn't have to be a product pitch, but keep people, there are so many tools now, technology-wise, to have funnels and to have ways to follow up with people. And you just have to do it. Trustworthy. We do business with people that we know, like, and trust, and we refer business to people we know, like, and trust. They do say that you can be dinged in network marketing and direct sales and multi-level marketing for the sins of your past. If you've been a bad person, you're not trustworthy. And approachable. Networking starts with approachability. So, you have to, people need to be comfortable with you. And I'm wrapping up, which I'm sure you might be glad about. But just really quickly, winning combo right now, e-commerce through network marketing. Most network marketing companies now, the newer ones, the good ones, everything's done online. You have a website, people go to your website, there's no geographical boundaries. You work from anywhere, they shop from anywhere. Your company ships products to your customers' homes. Really simple. E-commerce is where it's at. And then the network marketing overlay for that, what your company does, they carry the inventory, they house the inventory, they give you your website, you have a business app from them, they do all your back office tracking, they give you your marketing materials, they have customer service that help your customers as well as you. They do the warehousing, the shipping, the tracking. There's nothing that you personally have to invest in. And then there's unlimited income potential. Linear, there are bonuses that are one time. Something you do one time gets paid off, a rank advancement, you get bonus for that, or something, a new customer. The leverage, the residual, and then that legacy, that willable income to will to your heirs. And then the personal development that's available. You won't get it anywhere else. Nobody's going to push you as hard as network marketing will push you. And finally, happiness is just feeling excited for the future. And that's my wish for everybody, no matter what you're doing, because there is a future out there beyond this mess. And just setting yourself up for it and having a plan B is it will relieve a lot of stress. You have to spend a little time on it, but it's there. So that's all.
Oh, okay. Let me get my video started. Kim, I love this. I took a lot of notes. Anyone who has questions, please continue to drop your questions. I have some questions. You answered a few of them that came up, but a big one, how has COVID-19 affected this industry?
COVID-19 for most companies has been a real positive for this industry, because a lot of people have lost their jobs, or their work has been cut back at their regular jobs, and they're home looking for something to do. And they're also realizing that that job that they had that they thought was so secure they may not ever feel that security again. So they want to take more control over their financial longevity health. And so they just really want to look at what can I put in place that's working for me, even when I go back to work. And with children, I mean, a lot of kids they're not even going to go back to school, regular school in the fall this year, this coming semester. So parents are looking for things to do from home because they've got to stay home with their kids. So it's really helped. I mean, network marketing businesses, a lot of companies, mine included, have had record months the last 3 months because of everybody being home and people don't want to go out to shop. If you can get something delivered right to your door, a great product, you know, they're like, sign me up for that. And then how do I do this myself?
That does make a lot of sense. Can you tell us, Kim, if we're looking for these opportunities, how do we begin to look for these companies?
Well, there's a lot of companies out there. You can Google companies for sure, but now you probably have people in your network that do network marketing and they've been afraid to talk to you because we all are. There are people, everybody has a chicken list. I mean, I've got a chicken list, you know, people that I'm friends with, I'm like, oh, they would never want to do this with me, you know? So there are people out there that you know that are already involved with really good companies and they're doing really well, but you may be on their chicken list, but keep your eyes and ears open and, you know, ask people if, you know, as you're seeing people use different products or you see new products, well, where did you buy that from? And just, if you're open to it, it's like anything else. You know, you buy a red car, all of a sudden you see red cars everywhere. You know, now that you're a little more, you know a little bit more about it, there's a lot of products out there that people don't even realize come from network marketing companies. A lot of food products, a lot of cleaning products, a lot of makeup products. There's a lot of things out there that, you know, because they don't look any different than anything else, you don't realize that business model they're coming from is not paying some corporation. It's paying a bunch of people just like me and you.
And let me see, I have some here. So Petra says it's been a trend since 2012. Any businesses that does not have a strong online automotive segment won't survive in the future. Mm-hmm. And during every recession or major impactful event, network marketing booms because people say to themselves, never again will I put all my faith into blank or give control to blank. She
Petra's
also said
right
earlier,
Petra's right on target there.
Yeah. Earlier, she said, if you would work a part-time job, why not build a business part-time? Businesses have more benefits than jobs. So I'm wondering now, Kim, how many, I know that you, and if you don't mind telling, I don't know if you do, you had a very successful career. Would you mind telling us a little about that? I mean, I just think it gives you a lot more, just to say, like, someone who's done all this stuff that you've done is now saying that this is a good way to earn money. Would you mind telling us a little more about your pre-residual in business model work?
Well, it is kind of funny because, you know, when you have work for some of the companies I did, like General Mills, Sara Lee, Russell Athletic, Under Armour, you know, when you work for those companies, you know, you're really proud to tell people that. And like, you know, when you're getting your MBA, you're really proud to tell people that. And sometimes our egos get in the way when we're in network marketing because it doesn't sound so glitzy, so glamorous. And so that's one of the first things I had to do was, you know, get over my ego and just say, you know what, I like the business model. So I'm going to go for this because that's what I like about it. But bottom line is yeah, I went to the University of Maryland and graduated from there and, you know, got into a great job with General Mills in sales and worked for them for a couple of years. I thought the cool job was marketing. When our marketing folks would come in and they would present to us at the big meetings, I thought that's what I want to do. But to do that, I had to go back and get my master's. So I did. I'm like, okay, next step, master's. So worked a couple of years, went back and got my master's at the University of North Carolina. And then I went to work for some big companies. I went to work for Sara Lee, and I went to work for Russell Athletic, and I went to work for Under Armour, all in their marketing departments, and honestly loved so much of it. Really, really did. But you know what? It's a totally different world now than it was then and right when I was leaving. You technology has changed a lot, but it's just the stressors, just everything, I was doing really, really well. I moved up the ranks. I was in, I wasn't in the C-suite, but I was like, the level below the C-suite, whatever that's called now, making really good money. On the outside, everything looked great. I went on great business trips, made a lot of money, everything was great, but I was working anywhere from 60 to 70 hours a week and never shutting off. So you get those golden handcuffs. You're making a lot of money. You're doing, you think you're doing all the right things, and you are, but inside you're just, on Sunday night, you're going, God, okay, let's regroup, because tomorrow's Monday and I'm still exhausted because all I did all weekend was catch up from what I didn't get to do Monday through Friday, because all I did was work. So it truly, it was, a couple life things happened that led to me leaving the corporate world. We actually, I got married and we moved out to a small town in the West that didn't have any big companies. And at that time you couldn't work remote. So, my career essentially was over. And then I just started to do a lot of small jobs. And when I say small jobs, just smaller company jobs, but still a lot of responsibility, because I actually had more responsibility because I had no assistants. See, when you work in corporations, a lot of people do a lot of things for you. And that's great, but you realize when I got to this new town and I was like an office manager, or, I had a couple office manager jobs, there was nobody for me to go do certain things. I had to learn it all myself, but that was the best thing for me. I mean, I actually loved it because I like to learn new things. So, and that also then prepared me for when network marketing popped into my life, because, I was kind of like that person then that, could problem solve. I was actually more capable then than when I was making six figures in the corporate world. So, yeah.
I love it. I asked you that because I think some of our group members are in similar situation that you were when you were in your corporate life, right? And so just to say, this type of income model is not just for anyone. I mean, like maybe someone might think, well, a professional who has an MBA, this is not for me. I have an MBA, or I have a PhD, or whatever the case may be, but that this could work for anyone, no matter where you are in your life. And then my final question that I have is, do you have anything to say about the investment required to get into this type of a business model? Like, are there any red flags associated with that?
Usually there's a fee to upgrade to be a business partner, whether that's called associate, affiliate, distributor, whatever that's called. There's usually an annual fee for that. And those range anywhere from, I would say, like $25 to maybe $150. If it's more than that, I'm not sure why it would be, but it might be in some businesses. So it's a fairly nominal one-time a year fee to be able to then earn commissions. And then most companies, in some way, shape, or form, if you're a product of the product, you have either a monthly, I don't know if it's weekly, but what I've heard is like a monthly kind of purchase requirement of your own. And that's, the red flag is if you're purchasing it and you're expected to inventory it because you're just trying to purchase it to stay active. But if you're using your products, if your company has consumable products that you actually like using yourself, which was one of the kind of the things that you should do anyway, then the monthly purchases that you're kind of required to make should be, you're just redirecting from buying it from Giant, or buying it from Safeway, or buying it from Kohl's, or buying it from Amazon, to buying from your own store. And good companies, they commission you on your purchases as well as your customers. So you actually get an even deeper discount on those products, because that's part of your you're getting compensated a certain percentage on your own purchases as well. So, yeah.
Let me see if I have corporate grind. Petra says corporate grind. You give the company the best of you and your family the rest of you, which is probably not always a lot. So I'm just looking on the stream here because, there's a lag. I don't have any more questions from the stream. However, I have the question that I ask everyone that comes here right before we wrap up. And that is, Kim, just considering your whole career journey, what would you have wanted someone to say to you 20 plus years ago when you started? What would you, that you know now, right? What would you have wanted to know?
I would have wanted to have known about this opportunity. I mean, I've only been involved in this industry for 10 years. If you know, young kids now, it's like, I wish I had had this opportunity right after school. I wish, you know, I still value school, and I just think that's, you know, that's awesome. But I wish I had this opportunity at 22, 23. I just wish I had started then, even just dabbling in it, just to get it. Because I see what kids are doing in this industry, and it is amazing. And they are so professional, because all the personal development stuff that I got at such a late age, they're getting so young, and they're taking it then into everything they do, their relationships, their friendships, and they're elevating, you know, you are kind of the sum total, they say, of the 5 people around you. They're elevating everybody in their sphere, because they are just so confident and so impressive and inspirational to me. And so, yeah, I try to live without regrets, but it's like, dang, if I had known about this a long time ago, I would have been.
What it could have should have, but you're making up for that now. And
Yeah.
I just have a final comment that Petra left on Facebook. Who Petra is? Petra, tell me the exact title. She's an Arbonne representative, but I know she's been doing it for years. And she has, I should have brought her on with you, because she left a job. She was a STEM educator, and, you know, hustling, and, you know, and then I believe, if I remember correctly, working part-time tutoring, and still just couldn't really rub 2 nickels together. And Petra, correct me if I get it wrong. And then she was introduced to a similar type of residual income business model through Arbonne. And we met, I got me area manager. Okay, she's an area manager. But her story is, again, another inspirational one, because I'm knowing Petra now, I think since 2013, so about 7 years. And I've seen her, you know, live in DC. She does like Zumba lessons. She just lives this incredible life. She travels. And then she just popped up and said she wanted to move to South Florida, and she did it. And she's, you know, like, and this work that she does was able to move with her, you know.
You're location neutral. You are location neutral, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and so she has a very inspirational tale as well. I think I want to do something else with this, and I'll tap into you and Petra and a couple of other people, because I do believe that one of the things that we do here in CDPD is we want people to know that, like our first presenter said, one income is too close to none. And there are ways that we can create additional income streams for us, but we don't know about them all the time, you know. And when you said that there are 20, you see there's the statistic is 20% of African Americans involved. I'm sure that percentage goes down when you think of other marginalized groups of people, you know. And since we do serve marginalized groups, bringing this information would be very helpful. I will say, oh, Phyllis says, wow, awesome. I actually had a couple of companies flashing in my mind. I started, but was dormant. Now I realize it's mostly because I like the idea of getting rich quickly, but didn't like the product, nor did I build any teams. Feeling confident about it and getting ready to jump right in and research, ask questions, and put in work. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing this. Thank you.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Phyllis. That's awesome.
Yes, and so I say thank you to you, Kim, and thank you for everyone who has dropped some information. But I do want to do something else. I didn't think about it, and if you guys have any suggestions. But I think I want to bring some more people with you again, Kim, to talk about this business model, maybe to go over some of the things that Rich Dad Poor Dad says to us about this type of a mindset, because it's a total mindset shift.
Yes.
I was just speaking with someone yesterday saying we are still giving our children, I'm not a parent, but parents are still telling their children the same things you told children 50 years ago. Go to school, do well, you'll get a job, you'll be okay. And we know that that's not the truth. It doesn't play out like that all the time. And so I want to open people up to other possibilities. Finally, I'll say, anyone watching this, whether live or on the replay, Kim's name, I have it written wrong here, but it is correctly on all the other information, all the other literature and postings, it is Kim, Fulks. And you can find her on LinkedIn, which was where I found her. If you want to know more about this business model, or if you want specifics about the company that she works for, right, you can reach her directly, and I will drop her LinkedIn profile under a separate posting. Anyone who's logged in through Zoom, you will get a link that could take you directly to Kim. I think it comes out tomorrow after this this Zoom. But thank you so much. I really enjoyed having you.
Danette, thank you. Thank you so much. This has been awesome. Everybody have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, whether you tuned in live or recording. Appreciate your time, and everybody have a wonderful, safe day.
Great. Take care, Kim.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.